Hello lovely ya sisters, ya squad, ya gang. It is your girl Obaa Yaa back with another video. Yes, and if you're new here, hey girl, welcome to the family. First of all, happy new year guys. Happy 2021. Happy 2021. Happy fresh start. I'm so happy that we have made it into this new year. I hope that you are all well and that your family, everybody is doing great. I hope everyone is fine. That's what everything that we've gone through in the year 2020. I hope that this year will be a much better year. Amen. Amen. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about growing back your edges and things you need to stop doing in order to stop breaking your edges off. Okay, so if you are interested in knowing what you're supposed to do, then stay tuned. So now without any further ado, let's dive right into this video. Keeping your edges starts with being gentle with your hair. Gentle. That's like the main thing. If you're not gentle with your hair, that is the #1 cause of breakage, especially with our edges. Typically, if you have fine hair like myself, I have a combination of fine and medium strands of hair, and the hair around the perimeter of my hair is fine, so I need to be extra careful. Anything that I do, any unnecessary thing that I do with my hair is going to lead to breakage if I'm not careful. So I have to be very careful when handling my hair. So that is something that I would advise you to do as well. If growing your edges, or if you notice that your edges are thinning or starting to break off, then consider the way you've been handling your hair. Perhaps the styles that you put in, you are not gentle when putting in the styles. So for instance, laying your baby hair is not necessary, okay? For those of you who've been here long enough, you know that I don't typically lay my edges. I don't feel like I need to, and I don't want to, okay? Because my fine hair would not be happy with me if I was to constantly try to lay my edges. I'm not bashing anyone who does. I'm just saying that if you're doing this back to back and then eventually you're wondering why your edges are thinning or receding, that should be a sign for you to relax and lay back with the overly baby hair styling thingy, you know, slicking of the baby hair. You can go about your day without having your edges laid. You will survive, okay? You will survive the day, okay? You heard it from me here, right here. 2021. Leave the baby hair alone. Quote Obaa Yaa Jones. Okay. Any kind of tension applied to the edges can cause alopecia, traction alopecia, if done for a longer period of time. Some people might find that they are able to recover from that, and some might not, because the follicles have been permanently damaged to the extent that it's not able to produce hair. And that is where it's irreversible, and some people have to resort to having their hair transplanted from their back of their hair to the front of their hair, because it's been so severely damaged that there is no way in fixing it. And if you want to avoid things like that, things like pulling your hair in a sleek ponytail, it looks good and all, but if you're doing it every single day, best believe that your hair is not going to survive. Best believe that your edges are not going to survive it. Like I said, anything that applies too much tension, that could be braids, that could be cornrows, that could be crochets. The hairs on the edges are typically fine, and it's easier for those hairs to break than if you had thicker strands of hair, which could withstand more of tension. But that is not to say that just because your strand is thicker, you can just do whatever. It can creep up on you, and you can still lose your edges despite the thickness of your hair. It just might take a longer time, but you can still get to the point where you lose your edges as well. So just avoid any kind of tension to your scalp, to your hairline, and you should be good. In order to prevent your edges from drying out, it is important to moisturize your hair and your edges regularly. You might find that you don't have to moisturize your entire hair, but you just take out time to moisturize just your edges alone. So just take the cream and you rub it in. And then, of course, don't forget to seal in the moisture by using oils or butters, depending on what floats your boat. It goes hand in hand to massage your scalp whilst you are applying the moisture or the oil. But then when you choose to do scalp massages, you have to be careful about your hand movement. When we're talking about scalp massaging, it's not that you just go and be like this. Okay, let's say this is my scalp, okay? So you're not doing like this. It's a no-no. It's a no-no, it's a no-no. Because then you're causing friction. It's like you're rubbing the same spot and you are causing your hair to break off even more. But you're supposed to grab your scalp. The skin on my hand wouldn't let me be great. So you kind of do this motion where you are kind of gathering your hand, your scalp, and pushing it and moving your scalp. So you actually feel your entire head moving. So you feel the skin on your head moving. That is when you're doing it correctly. So you're not just rubbing like this, but you're moving the entire, you're putting pressure and moving your scalp. So that is when you get the most benefit. And you don't necessarily have to do it on your edge, because if you're doing a scalp massage here, the blood flow will not just come here. No, the blood will flow all over your scalp. So that means your edges will automatically benefit from it. And to avoid unnecessary friction on your edges, you can then choose to massage here and rotate the positioning. You can massage from the back, you can massage like this, and just be mindful of pressing your hand in a circular motion instead of rubbing vigorously, which would be counterproductive. Using heat on a regular basis is very damaging to our hair. If you're not taking the right precautions, you will find that your hair will suffer from heat damage. Heat damaged hair can break off easily compared to your healthy hair. Your heat damaged hair is weaker compared to your healthy hair. And for those of you who like to wear weaves or who like to blend their hairline with their attachment, for instance, whether it's straight or curly, however, but there are people who like to do leave out and then apply more heat in order to maintain the blend. Over time, you might suffer from heat damage and that hair is going to break off because you have overexposed it to heat and you've left it weaker. And if you're not doing any kind of protein treatment or anything to counter and react with the heat, excessive use of heat, then you will find that your hair is going to break off, especially on your edges. Especially with fine hair, your fine hair is going to fry. Yes, you fry it. You fry it like fried chicken. But if you want to keep your edges healthy, if you want to keep your edges full, if you want to prevent the receding of your edges, then limit the amount of heat you're using in your hair. You might have an underlying issue that has to do with your health, which is causing your edges to thin. It might be iron deficiency, just like me, or it might be something else. It might be zinc, because that is also related to hair growth. There are so many issues. It could be hormonal imbalance. It could be so many things, but you wouldn't know unless you go to your doctor. You have your blood work done in order for them to figure out what exactly may be the cause. And then it could be fixed by God's grace. It could be fixed. So don't neglect the signs of your hair. You might find that you've been so gentle with your hair, you've not been excessively manipulating your edges, you've been moisturizing, you've been doing all that, and if your edges are still thinning, in this case you might experience shedding or bald spots. Then it's no more breakage, then it's your edges excessively shedding. Then an alarm bell should ring in your head and you have to be like, whoa, what's going on? And then your next step should be to go to your doctor to seek help and to see if there is an underlying factor which is contributing to your hair thinning. Lastly, it is also important that we wrap our hair at night, but then it's also important that we are mindful of the kind of material we are using to rub our hair at night. Okay, sometimes you'll find that some silk bonnets, that the edge of the silk bonnet is actually rubbing against your edge and causing friction, and your bonnet might be the culprit here. It might be the one causing your edges to fall out. You might think, oh, I'm protecting my edges and all that at night, and then you put on your bonnet and it's just ripping your hair out because the elastic in those bonnets snag your edges and cause your edges to thin over time. And you might still be wondering after today what is causing your hair to thin, because you feel like you're doing everything right. Check your bonnet. Maybe you're not using a bonnet, and that could also be a reason why your edges are thinning. So then if you don't like to use a bonnet, then at least invest in a silk pillowcase. In a silk or satin pillowcase, it's way better. It's better than not using anything at all. So guys, it's the end of the video, and this is all I have for you today. I hope it was helpful to you, and you could pick something out of it that would help you to regrow your edges or help you to realize the mistakes that you've been making. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, don't forget to give it a like, to subscribe, and also to turn on the notification bell so you are notified when my next video goes up. I love you guys so much. See you again in my next video. Stay blessed, stay healthy, and stay safe. It is your girl, Obaa Yaa. Obaa Yaa. Bye. Mwah.